It's a great time to be in Los Angeles. We just started second fall, which is actually real fall. See, in Los Angeles, the way it works is we have fake fall for about a week where we think, oh, things are getting cooler. And then it becomes 90 for 2 more weeks. And then real fall starts. And real fall just started. And the way it started for us Los Angeles sports fans could not be better. You see, here in my neck of the woods, I don't see any political signs, but I'm seeing left and right Dodger blue, and it's a beautiful thing. Strangers are being nice to each other, and it's really weird. But my friends and I, we decided we're going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because that's the best place. That's the best place to celebrate Dodger World Series glory. But when we get there, they only had 6 waiters, so we had to wait a little bit to get sat down, and Buffalo Wild Wings get it together because I want my wings and I want them now. But eventually we were sat down and the staff was great, and I got my chicken wings and I'm chowing down like a beaver that needs to build a dam out of chicken bones. And as I'm looking up watching this game, it's a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, scoreless, mano a mano, the dream, and I am just devouring my chicken wings. And as my dam grows wider and wider and children walk by confused because this Buffalo Wild Wings is at a mall and Halloween stuff is happening, and they're walking around in their Pixar gear, and they're staring at me trepidatiously as I ingest my wings with a fervor that would make an adult man squirm, let alone a child dressed in an Elsa costume. But she and I, in our agreement, we both would prefer the other was not here. For that reason, I respect her. I respect her for it. Elsa doesn't pretend to like you, and I respect the hell out of it. But sometimes I want to scream, "Fuck yeah!" as the Dodgers score their first run in the World Series, but I can't because children are waddling by in dinosaur costumes. And then Giancarlo Stanton hits a big old home run and rips our heart out. But it's okay because in the bottom of the 8th, we tie the game on a Mookie Betts sac fly. Could it happen? And then the top of the 9th, crack of the bat, everyone in Los Angeles looks as a fan catches the ball over the field, causing fan interference and a ground rule double, which turns into no runs. And then the bottom of the 9th, Luke Weaver absolutely mows down the Dodgers. And now we're in extras, baby. The 3rd year in a row, the World Series is in extras in the first game. And the Yankees manufacture a run with Jazz Chisholm, who is killing it. He's so damn fast. Why? Come on, Blake Trennan. You gotta stop the steal from happening. I mean, what are you doing, buddy? But bottom of the 10th, things seem dire. And Tommy Edman gets 2 strike calls, both which were ridiculous. But he battles and gets on base. And then they switch to Nestor Cortez. The Yankees put Nestor Cortez in, who's not pitched in over a month, to face Shohei Ohtani. Bottom of the 10th, World Series. If he hits a home run, game's over. But on the first pitch, Ohtani hits it, and Alex Verdugo makes a beautiful play as a screw you to the Dodgers for trading him all those years ago. And you know what, Alex? Again, I respect it. Respect the hell out of it. And he gets up shaking and telling his buds, I'm fine, I'm good, because he thinks he just made the most important play in the Game 1 of the World Series. And so did all of us. And then they walk Mookie Betts to load the bases for Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, who has had a season from hell. He's had to deal with the illness of his child. He's had to deal with his own body breaking down. And as he limps up at 8:37 p.m., just as Kirk Gibson did 36 years ago, but this time bases loaded, and Nestor throws a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right down the pipe, and the ball flies forever, and Dodger fans lose their shit as we watch the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history, and Freddie rounds the bases, and we're all like, did we just see this? Did this just happen? Am I hallucinating? What did they put in these wings? What's going on? But no, it was real. And the Dodgers' first Grand Slam walk-off home run is off the Yankees. You couldn't make that. You couldn't write that any better, script writers. And so thank you for that. And Joe Davis with the call that matches the same call we heard from Vince Scully 36 years ago. It's a good time to be a Dodgers fan. Except if you're that one guy who got kicked out for fan interference, but apparently he was also wearing Yankees gear. Seems like he's playing both sides. Just saying that. But that's not the only reason to be excited to be a Los Angeles sports fan here today. Let's go back to Thursday night where the Rams played the Vikings. And we were told going into this game there'd be a good chance Cooper Kupp would be coming back. And us Rams fans were like, yes, cool! Because like you have to hold, if there's an ooh sound in the name, you have to hold it. It's the sports rules. I don't write them. We just enforce them. But then out of nowhere, going from not injured, not practicing, to being the healthiest wide receiver in the game of football, Puka Nacua comes back. And the Rams all of a sudden have their weapons back. And I, as a Rams fan, am getting real excited. But I've learned, don't get too hopeful. And I learned that hope was a wrong thing to have. When Josh Oliver scores a touchdown to start the Vikings off, Vikings are good at the beginning. The beginning of the game, Kevin O'Connell, he used to be a Rams coach, so we can celebrate his success, but he's a damn good coach. Really good at what he does, and I hate him for it. But then Kyron Williams comes back with his 10th game in a row with a touchdown, with a pass from Matthew Stafford. And then Trent Sherfield. Man, the Vikings are getting us with Josh Oliver and Trent Sherfield, but never fear because Cooper Kupp, old reliable, comes back with the ball. And now the game is tied. And then after 2 Demarcus Robinson touchdowns, which, I mean, we all knew at the beginning of the year, right, that once you get Cooper Kupp back and Puka Nacua, that Demarcus Robinson would have 2 touchdowns. But it's okay, Demarcus, I love you, and you're on way too many of my best ball teams, but that's another conversation altogether. And as the Rams are in the drive before to potentially seal the game, it's 28-20. We get the ball, and they miss a face mask call on Kyron Williams. This point will matter in a second, but they miss it, and that would have iced the game, basically. And then we pass the ball after the 2-minute warning, and Cooper Kupp makes a rare mistake where he gets pushed out of bounds, and you can see Sean McVay is like, bro, buddy, what are you doing? You're better than that. And Cooper Kupp is like, yeah, I'm better than that. And all of us are like, it's okay, Cooper. You were our Super Bowl MVP. We'll allow you this one mistake, and we won't look the other way. And then the Vikings get the ball deep in Rams territory, and they have to march the ball 98 yards down the field in order to get a touchdown to then get to a 2-point conversion to win the game. And then the Rams defender twists Sam Darnold's head, like, in the wrong direction. And he's like, I caused a foul. And everyone in the world was like, oh, God, that's a face mask. And they don't call it for some reason. And so it's a safety on Sam Darnold, and the Rams win 30-20. A bit awkward as the winning team in this situation, but I will say a couple of things. First, like I said, they missed a face mask call on the previous drive, which would have kept things going. So Vikings fans, and maybe we can agree that the refs suck, right? They just suck, and I'm sorry that they missed that call. Second, let's just say the Kyron Williams thing doesn't happen, and then the Sam Darnold thing does happen. They still have to go 80 yards down the field in less than 2 minutes with no timeouts when their offense had not been looking good the previous drives. And then after scoring, they would have to get a 2-point conversion to just tie the game and send it to overtime. So there's a good chance the Rams still would have won this game. However, it looks a little more questionable because they missed one of the most obvious face mask calls of the last forever. And as a Rams fan, I'll be honest about that. But as a Rams fan, I'll also be honest, I think that we were going to win, and it looked like a good win. Our offense looked like it was actually working, all the pieces together. We're an offense that really works well once we have everyone, but we don't seem to play up or have people step up when there's those absences. But you know what? Now the Rams are 3-4, just one game back in the West, and all of a sudden, even if you're a Los Angeles Rams fan, it's a good time to be a Los Angeles Rams fan, especially because your two-star wide receivers are no longer hurt. And I would die for Cooper Kupp and Puka. I would. Well, I wouldn't want to, but like if aliens came and they're like, "We're gonna kill you or you," I'd be like, eh. But wait, there's more. The Los Angeles Lakers won their first game of the season for the first time since 2016, 2017, and I thought I was losing my mind watching the Lakers play because they were running with actions, they had such good ball movement. They were still terrible at three-point shooting the first game, going 5 of 30, which, like, that's offensively bad. Like, I probably couldn't do 5 for 30, but, like, a lot of people who are not good at basketball could do that. Granted, they don't have, like, defenders and 50,000 people cheering, but you get the drift. That's offensively bad. However, the looks were good. JJ Redick's offense was looking smooth. Players were constantly in motion. It was just a good thing to watch. And I'm sitting there as a Lakers fan going, do my eyes deceive me? Timeouts being called when the other team is going on a run, game management, it was blowing my mind. And so I assumed, again, that somehow the Wings went into the future 2 days or 3 days and causing these problems. But then last night, the Lakers down 22 to the Suns. Never fear, because they come back and win. And for the first time in 13 years, the Los Angeles Lakers are 2-0. And I just want to say, I'm seeing lots of things I really like. Anthony Davis is being used as more on ball. He's dependent. The offense is dependent on him, which, given his skill set, makes so much sense. LeBron there is more as like a kind of a slasher, like methodical. Here's this moment, I'm going to do this pass. He's kind of in his assist era, hopefully. Austin Reeves didn't play great the first game, but looked absolutely awesome the second game. And Rui Hachimura, the big Rue, has been looking good. I mean, the team hasn't looked perfect, and we're still getting wins. And last season, it felt like we had to be perfect to get wins. So if we can look not great and still win, well, it's a win. And it's nice watching a Lakers game and not feel like your heart valves are constricting because you're trying to figure out what dumb way are we going to lose this. But no, it's what smart way are we going to win this? And JJ, I just want to say, I know it's 2 games in, so, it's super early, but I was not super enthused by the hiring just because I was worried. Obviously professional basketball players going to have a lot more experience than some random person off the street, but he had never coached at that high a level. But, at the end of the day, what matters is, do you understand the game of basketball? And, whether you like him or not, it's very clear JJ does. And you know what, JJ? Coach JJ Redick, I like this version of you, and I like how the Lakers look, and I'm excited. I know it's only 2 games in, so I'm not going to get too crazy, too optimistic, too hopeful, but I'm used to us losing the first couple of games and being like, okay, Lakers, get it together. But this year, we actually have bagging some wins, so inevitably when you have those weird losses, it doesn't hurt as much. And the final good thing to talk about in Los Angeles sports is the USC game where they Rutgered all over the Rutgers 42-20. And I had to look that up to make sure Rutgering was not some euphemism for something inappropriate that I didn't know, like when I learned what Rule 34 Pokemon is. Snorlax? I will talk to you later. But Rutgers is named after a man, Henry Rutgers, who was a colonial war hero. So if you didn't know that, now you do. Because USC decided we're going to play teams that are in New Jersey because we're going to be in a different conference, because that makes a lot of sense. But you know what made a lot of sense? USC winning and looking good while doing it. So So good job, USC. Thankfully for those concerned about Los Angeles win streaks, the UCLA college football team had their bye. And so as a result, they couldn't lose. See, it's a great week to be a Los Angeles fan. But not all Los Angeles sports were perfect this week. This week we had the Los Angeles Chargers play the Arizona Cardinals on Monday night. There were 2 Monday night games, and thankfully for us, the Chargers game was the least watched Monday night game in over a decade. And the Chargers at 3-3 are mid, just like me. But this game kind of was in a bad time slot. It was the second time slot in a Monday night, where the first Monday night game with the Ravens, the Buccaneers, was really exciting. And then there's a very gruesome injury towards the end of the game with Chris Godwin, their wide receiver for the Buccaneers. And I imagine a lot of sports fans who went, I'm done with sports today, and turned off the games entirely and didn't turn to watch the Chargers-Arizona game. Also, as us West Coasters know, midnight is way too late for people on the East Coast for anything. So as a result, the people are not watching the games when they start a little bit late. But the Chargers lost a close one. However, if I'm the Chargers, I'm still pretty optimistic. I'm happy with how things look. The AFC, minus the top couple of teams, I think is really open. The Chargers look a lot more competent than they did last year with this new coaching staff. So I'm excited to see what they will do, but unfortunately, not a good week for the Chargers. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. And even though the Los Angeles Clippers lost, I'm going to say they won this week because they won on good vibes. They had the Intuit Dome open, and it looks great in there. It looks like it's fun. Clippers fans have a space to be there. They're not running out of space from the Lakers. And now I, as a Lakers fan, are looking at the Clippers stadium going, wow, that's really cool. It's like when your younger sibling gets a really cool car that you've always wanted, but you have to act tough and cool. It's not a big deal because you're the older sibling, but man, I wish my team's owner had, billions of dollars and was really enthused and was leading the wave. But you know what? The Clippers won on vibes. And if you know anything about Los Angeles, if the vibes are good, who cares about the execution? Who cares about the wins and losses? Because for the Clippers, I think, minus the fact Kawhi Leonard's out for indefinitely, and you've lost Paul George, and you don't really have a good team, you've got really good vibes. Last, we have the Los Angeles Kings, who started the season 4-2-2, and are currently have a spot in the playoffs. I'll be honest, I've not done enough research yet on the Kings, but that's your Kings update. Next time there's a Kings update, it's gonna be thorough. It's gonna be good. So hockey fans, I know you always feel put upon, and unfortunately, you're right, and I'm making it worse by actively letting you know that I'm failing in my duty to do that, but I have a full-time job. I have a life, and it's not this. It's not reporting about sports, even though I love them. I love them so much. They make me cry. I mean, lots of things make me cry. Puppies, kitties, sports, Freddie Freeman hitting a grand slam. Lots of things make me cry. All right, Los Angeles fans, let's keep the good vibes going, and I hope you have a wonderful week.